Hello, Matajiman, you're watching Morning Pulse on Hornbill TV. At the upcoming Republic Day parade, a special tableau will showcase Operation Sindoor, highlighting the joint operations of all three armed services. Speaking about the display, Air Commodore Manish Sabharwal said that tableau will depict how the Army, Navy and Air Force work together during the operation. He said it will feature key elements, including a symbolic BrahMos missile launch from a Su-30 fighter jet representing the strike on a Pakistani airbase. The tableau will also highlight India's air defense strength, including the S-400 system, which he said intercepted a Pakistani Air Force asset at a record long range. Air Sabharwal added that the tableau is meant to send a strong message of national resolve, showing that when the three services fight together, victory is inevitable.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर तो आज हर एक बच्चे के जुबान पे है। ये ऑपरेशन इस झांकी में थोड़ा कॉम्पैक्ट व्यू में दिखाया गया है कि किस तरह से ट्राई सर्विसेज ने एक साथ मिलके फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, ऐसा नहीं था कि इससे पहले जॉइंट ऑपरेशन नहीं हुए थे, पर इस लेवल की जो जॉइंटनेस इसमें दर्शाई गई है वो आज से पहले कभी नहीं हुआ था। जो हम इसमें दिखाना चाह रहे हैं झांकी में कि एयरफोर्स एलिमेंट्स हैं, नेवी, आर्मी, सबके जो महत्वपूर्ण एलिमेंट्स हैं। फर्स्ट स्टेज में जो आपने जैसे देखा 9 टेरर camps were targeted on the first night, and out of that 7 were by Army and 2 were by Air Force. And subsequently there was destruction of air assets, and by other military targets were also targeted by the Air Force, and that has been showcased. We have shown the symbolic launch of a BrahMos by a Su-30, which had gone and destroyed the one of the air bases and destroyed the hangar. In the hangar there are a number of aircraft which were destroyed. Same has been shown in the tableau. You will see it outside. We have showcased the air defense elements. For example, the S-400. And like our chief has also elaborated that this has been the first ever longest claimed shot by air defense weapon, more than 300 kilometers, by the S-400 onto presumably the SAB that is there, the AEWC aircraft. That has also been showcased there. So everything that has been put on the tableau has already been there in the public memory. And this is just to once again highlight the resolve of our country that together, if we fight, victory is inevitable and it will always be ours. Any other specific question, I can answer it on the 3D model itself, ma'am. Thank you.
Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan has highlighted the importance of rewriting India's military history from an Indian perspective. He said that much of the military history he studied as a young officer was written by the British and did not fully reflect India's own experiences and sacrifices. Referring to the Indian National Army, or INA, the CDS said that it suffered one of the highest attrition rates seen by any army, underlining the intensity of its struggle. He also described the INA as a powerful symbol of unity in diversity, pointing out that it ranks cuts across regions, castes, religions and even gender. General Chauhan also spoke about how the idea of national security has changed over time. He said that today national security is not just about protecting borders but about safeguarding three key pillars of the nation: its territory and its people and its ideology.
We all know that the history is written by victors and not by the vanquished. The military history that I read as a young officer, as a middle-level officer trying to prepare for my staff college or promotional exams, was the history which was written by the British. I read books like Defeat into Victory by Field Marshal William Smith, Chindit Operations, Campaign in Burma, Road Past Mandalay, John Masters, etc. Some of these books, and including the official history recorded by the British War Office in London, portrayed the Indian National Army in very poor light. INA was poorly equipped. Its regiments did not have tanks, did not have artillery, supporting forces which are required to fight modern battles. Yet they fought, and they fought with motivation. And if you know, the attrition rate which INA suffered is the highest any army has ever suffered. The fact which is very little known. So INA is a military formation, and as a movement awakened national consciousness. INA was also an expression in unity in diversity, because its organization transcended region, caste, religion, or gender. Let me now talk about what I have written in these two books, which I said R, and R. And let me talk about emerging concept of a nation state and concept of national security first. The concept of national security has evolved over a period of time. In the ancient and medieval times, it would be the sovereign himself that would be the government and also the military leader. The aim of security in those days was probably to protect the sovereign himself, and borders, land, people, I think they were all irrelevant. The subjects of that monarch were expendable, and land was negotiable. The Treaty of Westphalia, I think they saw the emergence of nation states. When we talk about nation, that's a concept that of common ethnic and cultural identity. It promotes emotional relationship and bonding. A state is a political unit defined in terms of territory. It provides the basis for political and legal jurisdiction. And of course, a nation state is a combination of these two. The emergence of nation states witnessed a relook at this security paradigm. And today, when we talk about national security, it's about securing those three elements, important elements that go about constituting a nation state. That's firstly, it's land. Secondly, it's people. And third is the ideology of that particular state.
The Badrinath Dham temple is set to reopen its portals on April 23rd at 6:15 a.m. Ahead of this, the traditional Gaddu Gadda ceremony will take place on April 7 at the palace complex. Speaking exclusively to ANI, Acharya Dr. Krishnanand Nautiyal from the Narendra Nagar Royal Palace confirmed the dates. The announcement followed the completion of customary rituals and prayers at the Royal Palace, officially marking the schedule for the reopening of Sri Badrinath Dham.
नमस्कार, मैं आचार्य डॉक्टर कृष्णानंद नौटियाल थात राजगुरु हूँ टिहरी रियासत का, और अभी यहाँ पर महाराज श्री मनोजेंद्र शाह की कुंडली को देख करके गाडू घड़ा और भगवान बद्री विशाल के कपाटोद्घाटन का दिन तय हुआ है। तो उनकी कुंडली को देख करके जो दिन तय हुआ है वह है 23 अप्रैल 6:15 मेघ लग्न में भगवान बद्री विशाल के कपाट आम दर्शनार्थियों के लिए खोल दिए जाएंगे। उसके साथ ही 7 अप्रैल जो भगवान बद्री विशाल के अभिषेक के लिए तिलों का तेल भेजा जाता है, वह 7 अप्रैल को यहाँ पर महारानी जी के संरक्षण में उसकी पिराई की जाएगी। तेल पिरोया जाएगा, तिलों का तेल जो कि सुहागवंती स्त्रियों के द्वारा पिरोया जाता है, और वो 7 अप्रैल को उसकी तिथि यहाँ पर महाराज की मनोजेंद्र शाह महाराज की कुंडली देख करके तय की गई है। तो उनकी चंद्र कुंडली के अनुसार एक बात पुनः बता दूं, देश विदेश के सभी दर्शनार्थी 23 अप्रैल प्रातः 6:15 पर भगवान बद्री विशाल का कपाटोद्घाटन आम दर्शनार्थियों के लिए कर दिया जाएगा। बोले भगवान बद्री विशाल की जय।
Amid fresh snowfall in parts of Jammu and Kashmir, Chief Minister Umar Abdullah said the region had been waiting for snow even though the current weather has disrupted power supply. He said electricity generation dropped sharply this morning due to strong winds and bad weather. The Chief Minister said priority is being given to restoring power and water supply, while teams are also working to clear and reopen key roads. He added that snowfall is crucial for the region as it helps maintain water levels during the summer months. He pointed out that while Srinagar city had not received much snowfall so far this season, nearby areas including the airport had recorded fresh snow. Umar Abdullah also said that snowfall is expected to boost tourism in the Kashmir Valley in the coming days. Separately, the Chief Minister said he will hold a meeting with MLAs later today to discuss the state budget, adding that suggestions have already been received from various stakeholders.
में थोड़ी देरी हुई, लेकिन चलिए अल्लाह का शुक्र है, देर आए दुरुस्त आए। बड़ी बेसब्री से हम इस बर्फ़ का इंतज़ार कर रहे थे। हालांकि मौसम के बाद नुकसान काफ़ी हुआ है। आप नुकसान का अंदाज़ा इस चीज़ से कर सकते हैं कि जहां वादी कश्मीर में रोज़ हम 1700 मेगावाट जो है बिजली सप्लाई करते हैं, आज सुबह हम सिर्फ 100 मेगावाट सप्लाई कर रहे थे, क्योंकि लगभग सारा सिस्टम हमारा जो है तेज़ हवाओं की वजह से बैठा हुआ था। लेकिन आहिस्ता आहिस्ता अब डिपार्टमेंट वाले जो हैं बिजली के निज़ाम को दुरुस्त कर रहे हैं और उम्मीद की जाती है कि जल्द से जल्द जो है बिजली का सप्लाई जो है वो रिस्टोर किया जाएगा। उसके साथ साथ सड़कों को जो प्रायोरिटी रोड्स हैं पहले उनको खोल दिया जा रहा है, उसके बाद बी रोड, सी रोड्स, लेकिन एक एक करके जो है सारी सड़कें जो है जोड़ दी जाएंगी। फोकस बिजली, सड़क और उसके बाद पानी पे है, बाकी चीज़ें बाद में।
तो काफ़ी इम्पोर्टेंट है स्नो हमारे लिए।
नहीं, बहुत है, क्योंकि जो हमें सर्दियों में बर्फ़ का जो है हमें बर्फ़ मिल जाती है, उसी चीज़ का हमें गर्मियों में फ़ायदा होता है। अगर सर्दियों में खासकर चिले कलान में जो हमें बर्फ़ मिलती है उसका हमें गर्मियों में फ़ायदा होता है। इसके बाद बर्फ़ पड़ती है तो वो अचानक पिघल जाता है। तो शुक्र है कि इस महीने ये बर्फ़बारी हमें मिली है और अल्लाह से दुआ करते हैं कि और बर्फ़ पड़े। श्रीनगर को बर्फ़ नहीं मिली। अब आप देखिए ना, क्या अजीब मौसम है। पूरे वादी कश्मीर में बर्फ़ पड़ी, यहाँ तक कि एयरपोर्ट में 4 इंच बर्फ़बारी हुई, लेकिन ये हिस्सा श्रीनगर का जो है बर्फ़ से महरूम रहा। उम्मीद करते हैं कि श्रीनगर में भी बर्फ़ होगी।
एमएलएज के साथ बजट पे डिस्कशन हो रहा है सर।
अभी तो एमएलएज के साथ आज दोपहर को शुरू होगी। अभी सुबह जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, इंडस्ट्री, हॉर्टिकल्चर, एग्रीकल्चर, टूरिज़म, हायर एजुकेशन, बाकी जो तमाम जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं उनके सुझाव और मशवरे जो हैं वो हमें हासिल हुए हैं और अब जहाँ तक हो सकेगा उन पे हम बजट में अमल करेंगे।
उमर साहब, आप क्योंकि अच्छी खासी बर्फबारी गुलमर्ग में हुई है, so do we expect hype and boost in the adventure tourism?
ये तो जाहिर सी बात है कि बर्फ़ के बाद टूरिस्टों का हम आना जाना जो है उसकी और हम उम्मीद कर सकते हैं। थोड़ी सी बर्फ़ में देरी हुई, उसका थोड़ा सा टूरिज़म पे एक नुकसान हुआ, लेकिन ये पूरे नॉर्थ इंडिया में था। ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ हम ही लोग बर्फ़ से महरूम रहे। उत्तरांचल, हिमाचल, सब जगह जो हैं उनमें इस बार बर्फ़बारी नहीं हुई, लेकिन आज अच्छी खासी जो बर्फ़बारी हुई है, सुना है गुलमर्ग में 2 फुट से ज़्यादा बर्फ़ पड़ी है। उम्मीद करते हैं कि अब और ज़्यादा टूरिस्ट जो हैं वो यहाँ आएंगे और हमारे जो स्की कोर्सेज हैं उनको हम सही।
In Gujarat, Sawarkundala, a government doctor is using technology to strengthen healthcare delivery in rural areas. Dr. Sachin Udesh, a medical officer at the Ayushman Arogya Mandir in Gopa village, has developed a digital follow-up system to tackle the growing burden of lifestyle diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure and heart-related conditions. Through his NCD follow-up application, patient records are maintained digitally, regular checkups are tracked and alerts are sent to ensure patients do not miss treatment. For villagers who are unable to visit the health center, Dr. Udesh and his team monitor their condition through the app and also conduct home visits when needed. The initiative is helping deliver continuous care right of people's doorsteps and is being seen as a strong example of how digital tools can improve healthcare access in remote areas in line with the government's Digital India vision and efforts to better manage chronic disease.
Dr. Sachin Udesh, A medical officer posted in Ghoba village of Sawarkundla Taluka in Gujarat's Amreli district is strengthening rural healthcare delivery under the state government's Ayushman Arogya Mandir scheme. With non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, hypertension and heart ailments on the rise in rural areas, Dr. Udesh has developed a digital solution for village patients, the NCD follow-up application. In many villages, patients often discontinue treatment due to irregular checkups and lack of systematic follow-up, leading to worsening health conditions. To address this gap, the application digitally maintains complete patient records and tracks follow-up schedules. Through the system, patients receive timely alert messages on their mobile phones, enabling regular monitoring, improved treatment adherence, and better management on chronic disease.
મને ડાયાબિટીસ અને બીપીનો પ્રોબ્લેમ હોવાથી હું અહીંયા રિપોર્ટ કરાવવા આવું છું અને નિયમિત મારો રિપોર્ટ કરી દે છે અને એ મને મેસેજ મોકલે છે અને મેસેજ દ્વારા હું અહીંયા રિપોર્ટ કરાવવા આવું છું અને મને પણ દવા આપે છે અને એ દવાથી મને અનુકૂળ રહે છે અને સારું રહે છે. હું ખેતી કરું છું અને મને દવાનો ટાઈમ થાય અને પૂરી થાય એટલે તરત મેસેજ આવી જાય છે. મેસેજમાં તરત હું અહીંયા દવા લેવા આવું છું અને મને ત્યાંથી બહુ રાહત છે અને બહુ દવાખાનાનું કામ સારું છે.
For patients who repeatedly miss follow-up visits or are unable to travel, the doctor and the healthcare team assess their condition through the application and conduct home visits for checkups and treatment. With this initiative, healthcare is no longer confined to hospitals but is reaching patients directly at their doorstep, strengthening access to timely and continuous care in rural areas.
ઘણા આપણે ખબર છે કે ઘણા ડ્રાઈવર ભાઈઓ હોય છે, ઘણા એવા હોય છે જે ખેતીમાં કામ કરતા હોય છે. અત્યારે અમરેલીની અંદર વધારે પડતા વૃદ્ધો જ હોય છે, કેમ કે જે યુવાનો છે એ સુરત ધંધા હેતુએ ગયેલા છે, તો એમને યાદ નથી રહેતું, ખેતી કામ કરતા હોય છે તો ખેતરે પણ હોય છે, તો એમને અમે યાદ અપાવવા માટે એક એપ્લિકેશન આપી છે. એ એપ્લિકેશન જે છે એની અંદરથી મેસેજ જાય છે અને એમને ખબર પડે છે કે એમને આરોગ્યની તપાસ ક્યારે કરાવવાની આવી છે અને એમને ખબર પડે છે કે એમને ક્યારે દવા લેવાની છે.
This digital initiative, launched by Dr. Sachin in a small village, demonstrates that with the right approach and the effective use of technology, healthcare services can be strengthened even in rural India. The effort stands as a strong example of the country's expanding Digital India vision in the healthcare sector.
The global geopolitical landscape is witnessing a seismic shift as the European Union by votes towards India, signaling a significant departure from its traditional reliance on the United States, while in a move that has sent ripples through international diplomatic circles. The EU has announced a comprehensive strategic and security partnership with India, placing its trust in the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi amidst growing global instability. The decision comes at a time when European nations are increasingly wary of shifting political climate in Washington. Tensions over issues like Ukraine, Venezuela and Greenland, coupled with a perceived unpredictability in US foreign policy, have led Brussels to seek more stable and reliable partners. European leaders have identified India as a key democratically capable of providing the strategic balance needed in the modern world. The EU's Foreign Policy Chief and Vice President of the European Commission, Kaja Kallas, announced a new security and defence partnership during a session at the European Parliament.
In a few days, the European Union and India will meet in New Delhi for the 16th EU-India Summit. This is a pivotal moment for our bilateral relationship, with renewed political momentum and clear sense of purpose. Preparations are advancing well, though I must say not without challenges. Work has been coordinated and focused, and cooperation with Indian partners has been productive. Negotiations on the joint statement and the new strategic agenda have been driven by determination and understanding on both sides, and that this summit must deliver, taking into account the geopolitical landscape. The EU and India are moving closer together at the time when the rules-based international order is under unprecedented pressure through wars, coercion and economic fragmentation. Two major democracies cannot afford to hesitate. We must become more ambitious partners. Europe and India share a responsibility to uphold international law and the UN Charter and adopt the multilateral system so that it works also in the 21st century and beyond. The summit will adopt a new joint EU-India comprehensive strategic agenda, setting our course towards 2030. Leaders will endorse concrete deliverables that move our partnerships from words to actions. 3 stand out. First, we aim to conclude negotiations on the EU-India Free Trade Agreement. This deal will open markets, remove barriers and strengthen critical supply chains in clean technologies, pharmaceuticals and semiconductors. Second, today we agreed to move forward with the signature of a new EU-India security and defence partnership in areas like maritime security, cybersecurity and counter-terrorism. We will also launch negotiations on a security of information agreement. In a more dangerous world, we will both gain from working closer together. We also intend to conclude a memorandum of understanding on comprehensive framework on cooperation on mobility. This will facilitate movement for seasonal workers, students, researchers and highly skilled professionals while promoting research and innovation. Honourable members, these deliverables reflect our shared priorities. On prosperity and the clean transition, the EU is already one of India's largest trading partners, and India is becoming indispensable to Europe's economic resilience. Our clean energy and climate partnership links climate ambition with industrial competitiveness. We cooperate on renewables, green hydrogen and sustainable manufacturing. On technology and security, the EU-India Trade and Technology Council is shaping cooperation on artificial intelligence, semiconductors, cybersecurity and digital infrastructure. The goal is simple but strategic. To embed trusted standards that shape global markets rather than to react to them. In the Indo-Pacific and beyond, Europe and India can help anchor stability by defending open sea lanes, strengthening maritime domain awareness and resisting coercion in all of its forms. Honourable members, this summit matters for what it sets in motion, a more ambitious, more operational EU-India partnership. We have an opportunity to turn political momentum into progress for our citizens, for our companies, our economies, and also upholding rules-based order on which our security and prosperity depend. Thank you very much.
Grazie Vicepresidente, iniziamo il dibattito.
In Himachal Pradesh, fresh rain and snowfall are continuing to affect normal life, with the IMD forecasting more bad weather in the coming hours. Senior scientist at the Meteorological Centre in Shimla, Sandeep Kumar Sharma, said that several districts have received rainfall, with the highest record at around 25 millimeters. Rain has been reported from Solan, Hamirpur and Bilaspur, and this spell is expected to continue till late night. He added that snowfall is also continuing in higher and mid-hill areas, including Kangra and Mandi, where misty conditions are likely to persist. Meanwhile, heavy snowfall has led to poor road conditions in several parts of the state, causing traffic jams and inconvenience to commuters. Authorities are on alert as the IMD warns of more snowfall in the coming period. That's all we have for now. Keep watching HornbillTV.